Yo, 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 it's your boy HUN Tizzy, and we're back again. It's the Golden Era UK Rap Podcast. Can I get a round of applause? Making sure that the energy is always correct before we start, you get me? So like I say all of the time, shout out No Invite. Yeah, shout out Consume London. Shout out GCP. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fam, that's how we're doing it. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, leave some comments. You know them ones, send it out into the algorithms. I say it all of the time, and I need to make sure that that's what you lot are keeping up with. You get me? Like, all right, cool. Golden Era Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We've been here week in, week out. We've been doing this thing. We've been getting people from there, left, right, all over the place. You get me? Doing bare different things in the Golden Era so they can tell their story. You get me? But man, thought to myself, like, yo, it's series 3. Like, you ain't got, you know what I'm saying? You got a man from Bristol. You know what I'm saying? But like, what about Birmingham?
Had to get legend in.
What about Birmingham? What about like there's certain names? We had a conversation on our way here, and we spoke about like certain names have to be mentioned, else your thing's kind of, it's like you wasn't there.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about something and you don't mention some of these names, then it's like, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
So I decided to go and reach out and get someone that I think is very credible.
Oh, come on.
Someone that's like eligible for like maybe not even just the Golden Era. They was here from before.
Before, definitely. Foundation and British.
Foundation, innit?
Yeah.
So it's only right that like man taking their story. So without further ado, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, fam.
Yo, big up, man. Good to see you every time.
Yes,
good to see you every time, my G.
Bro.
Yeah, Malik MD7 from Morrisdale to 7.
That's what I'm
You know what I
saying.
mean? Birmingham City.
Birmingham City. From like I can ever remember, it's like I just remember Channel U, innit? That's like a big thing. Like we always talk about that on this podcast. Like it started with the DVDs and the MP. You know what I'm saying, innit? Like the Bluetooths and all that. It wasn't Bluetooth then, was it?
No,
How was
infrared.
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 You understand? They changed the colour on us.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like it was an infrared, phone to phone.
You know?
We didn't even get to see the people. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was radio. So you see when it got to YouTube and then it got to Channel U, now the visuals come alive. Now we get to see the people that we've been hearing their tunes on these CDs, innit?
Yeah.
And you're one of the people that I remember just like watching videos and just, do you know the ones just like seeing you and thinking, right, these men are not even from London, fam. Which it's even more of a grasp because of the difference in accents. Now we're more accustomed to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're used to you lots. But then, do you understand what I'm saying? So for me, that's what made you lot stand out. Plus, the message was always like, it wasn't negative. Do you understand what I'm saying, fam? So like, yeah.
I thought what they stand out as well, because them days everyone was speaking American. Anyway, I don't think that the times where
When we first come out, still,
yeah,
like my first bars, but then from like silent screams after that. Then
no, I know what I meant by it was that you lot wasn't, by the time I heard you guys wasn't speaking American.
no, not at
but
all.
London hadn't found their sound yet.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? London, I remember when London found their sound a bit later down when people got dissed for it. Because even when PDC first started, they sounded American. Do you get what I'm saying? If you think about it, like all the old school man, they sounded American. They came on the thing on some full American accent. You know what I'm saying?
English voice, but like the accent in it, how they're saying the words and how it
What's
was
the
like.
English voice if the accent's American?
I don't know, man, because I could always tell that they were English.
No,
I could
you're
always
right.
tell they were
Don't get
English.
twisted. You're right on
So
that.
man's still saying English, but it's like you know, like how it's delivered.
But you know something. I've realised that every place has to make that kind of conversion. Australian rappers,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Rappers in Africa, all over, they have to make that. They've all went through that same thing.
No, you're right. They're right. They've
You know
all
what
went through
I'm
the
saying?
same thing.
So if they're into grime, they're gonna be very British at first.
Yeah.
Until they start to put their own things into it.
No, facts. 100% facts.
So that's just how.
I'm just talking about the time period.
Yeah. And it's an early time period before
Yeah.
anything was shaped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you see what? Yeah, you see this next question. If you lots are following the show, you lots know the next question.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is probably like the easiest but it still not actually can turn into something.
Yeah.
Because the next question would have been your name meaning. Now, I don't know, I'm not a genius, but I'm sure your name's Malik. I'm sure that's your first name, and MD7 is the crew that you was in, innit?
Yeah.
But you could even take it further and break down what the Moorish Delta 7.
All right, for Moorish Delta 7, Jawar came up with the name. Big up Cipher, Jules, and Jawar, the other two members of
The
MD7.
other two members.
And he came up with the name Moorish. So I was reading a lot about history, black history, different tribes, just anything. You know what I'm saying? We came up on like...
What year is this, cuz?
This is like 98, probably.
Yeah, because I looked
but we didn't come out until like 99 when Silent Screams and that
because
come
when
out.
I looked on the discography, you know, like I don't normally have to do that. I normally like know what I feel I need to know to carry the show. This one, I thought, nah, like I can't come on there and just be like let Jay carry the show. Like I was a fan as well, you know them ones. So let me at least know a bit. And it said you lots was there in 1995, brother.
So
That's what it says, 1995.
when I met Cypher, he already had tunes out. He was
Okay.
releasing tunes, but you know what I mean. So back to the name, and Moorish. We was reading about the Moors and about how they came to Europe and they brought a lot of culture. They helped with the Renaissance. They brought instruments, opened up public baths and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And was there for hundreds of years. Yeah. So we was thinking, okay, we're coming to bring culture and art and all these kind of things, civilization.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a new way of thinking. And we're gonna do the same in Europe and starting with England. So that was the concept of using Moorish and the Moors. Delta is a fertile piece of land. So we was like, yo, England ain't boss with... England's UK hip-hop is just forming, so it's very fertile. And, you know what I mean? Nothing's grown on there yet and we can plant something. And then the 7 is a divine number. So shout out Jawar for coming up with that.
Yeah, because that like kind of tripped me out back in the days, man. I used to just think like names with meanings that we got to decipher, whereas Mandem's just coming up with, you know what I'm saying? Either your flat's name broken down or a name to make your
crew sound bad.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it was, isn't it? So when, like, to me, I just always thought, yeah, these guys are smart. Like I didn't know what the smartness was, but I just knew that. Do you understand?
Well, we came up in certain teaching, so regardless of if we was raised Christian, a lot of our friends are Muslim. So there's you know what I mean? Of course, Rasta. So there's different, like, there's a lot of different. We just like to take the best out of everything that's around us.
Yeah.
And was influenced by like 5% teachings at the time. And one of their teachings was, yo, if it's science and maths, about nature, it's all knowledge.
Yeah.
So that if it's other religions, so a lot of, I was kind of searching for different, you know what I mean, stuff as a teenager. And one thing that they said was, yo, read into everything, Hare Krishna, whatever it is, because there's knowledge in everything. You know what I'm saying? And there's righteousness in a lot of these things. And a lot of these things come from a source that come from you in the beginning anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at that time, that was our mind frame. You know what I mean? It was the 90s.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang, and you know what I mean? It was a time of like, I think it was like the Million Man March. The 10,000 Man March was one of the first protests I've ever been to. There was one in the 90s over here. And this is probably 97 or something like that, before we was even MD7. And we performed in London, Trafalgar Square, at the 10,000 Man March.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you already had the that kind of message going out, innit?
Yeah. And at the same time, just being a teenager, and what was happening in Birmingham is, you know what I mean, we start to fall into a lot of things into the streets at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So see, like, because you kind of went into the next question as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, like, you already touched on the influence.
Yeah.
But like, that's like a mental influence. You know what I'm saying? Innit? Like, so I can see why you have that name. Yeah. Do you understand that? I can see why you have a meaning.
It was cool to be smart in hip hop back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, maybe because that's before I was still listening
I'm talking about when we listened to like Public Enemies and you know.
But not even those kind of people, even like the Woos, the
Wu-Tang. I was gonna say
like,
yeah, they all
so you had man
gems.
like so you had certain man who like you dress a certain, you can dress how you want, you know what I mean, the way you flex, whatever.
Yeah,
but there's a certain still street, but there's a knowledge behind it.
100%.
So that's what we saw that first on the street from the Rastas. So we, you know what I mean, we wanted to follow on that lineage.
Definitely.
Okay, so you see what was your musical influences at that time?
At that time,
yeah. I know you said Wu-Tang, but
well, it was, to tell the truth, probably like, here's how my musical influence started. I grew up in a musical family where, like, from I was 6, I was taken to the record shop. I'll pick a record to buy. You get what I'm saying? I can't remember what I bought.
Burno days.
You know what I'm saying? So I came from that kind of family where everybody had their own musical collection. Yeah. I remember, I think the first record I bought was a Shaka Khan record that had Melly Melon, actually. Had a rap on. You know what I'm saying? I Feel For You.
Yeah.
That was the first song. You know what I'm saying? And that song is still sick to this day. I must have been like 6 or something like that. And when I turned about 7 or 8, my cousin, I got my cousin's 4 years older than me, and he gave me a mashup Walkman with taped up headphones because he had a new one for his birthday. Yeah. So I got that hand me down, and he said, and he just started giving me tapes. My first like album was like LL Cool J album. I was only like 7.
It was like Mama Said Knock You Out.
The one before that, it was bad. It was called the Bad. Yeah, and that's the first one I memorized. And then I remember the time when he had, I think, Straight Outta Compton on tape, and he was like, "Come in back.
Can't even listen to this. Can't even listen to this."
So I could have been like 6, 7, those kind of ages. So that's when I got into hip hop. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and then I would say I'm influenced by a lot of MCs. Yeah. Even just little bits of here and there. I like the way they do this. I could like a person for their ad libs or.
Give us some names.
All right. I would say Big L was my first favorite rapper as a kid. Yeah. Big L was probably my first favorite.
I think I heard him late.
Yeah.
After he had passed.
Yeah.
That's when I got the drop on him.
And then
he was hard.
Big L, and then I like Ice Cube definitely. And
Today
then
was a good day and all them.
Yeah. And then
it's a banger.
When he was a storyteller, like when he just left NWA. And he had an album called Kill at Will when he got a gun on the front cover. Yeah. And I remember buying that, and I'm like 9 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause of
what HMV?
What was
the record?
No, there was a local record shop. So I just grew up in a family. My mum had me when she was like 13. Yeah, so she finished school. I grew up in a house with my grandparents, with my grandma, because my granddad died, and my grandma had 10 kids. So it's just the kids kind of ruled the house. So all my uncles and my aunties. I remember I watched everything. I watched Scarface when it came out on video, sitting with my family. Like, I watched everything in real time. And for some reason, I didn't have like the censorship that I would give to my child or.
Yeah, go to your bed, go to your room. You can't. There's too many of you.
It's only the sex scenes that.
They let you watch.
Yeah, but apart from that, I could watch anything. So I just had a lot of. It was good that I had a family where I could take in a lot of. I just remember a lot of art moments, or I remember albums that came out. Like, even if I just remember when Dennis Brown was the biggest thing. I remember when Yellow Man was Ninja Man was the biggest.
Man,
because in my house, that's all I heard for that period of time. So culturally, there was a lot of...
Your family Jamaican?
Yeah. My family's Jamaican. My uncle was on local radio. He was an artist. He had a band, so...
What's his name?
His name's Roger Terrell, yeah.
Okay, big up Roger Terrell.
Big up my uncle. He's he's one of my musical influences.
Big.
He had a big... You'll have a big blues... He had a big reggae collection mostly, but then all blues. Then my uncles got into hip-hop, then they'll collect hip-hop. So it was a lot of... there was just a lot of different music in the house. So, and a lot of... I could watch loads of different films, and they'll come, watch this film with me. And it would be a film where it's a classic now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Like A Harder They Come or something, or one of them kind
all of them type of films. I was sat down and like,
Smile
come and watch
Orange
these.
and that, like...
Not even just Jamaican films, like science fiction films. Every day, every week I'll buy a kung fu movie as a kid. From I was 5 years old, I was like my pocket. I'll get my 50p, and I was getting a video, a Jackie Chan or whatever. So I always had like media and films and music. It's always been a big part of my family life. So me even going into music, it wasn't
inevitable.
It's inevitable, isn't it? So, cuz, when would you say you started music? Like, obviously, you've had all of this influence.
Well,
but
my uncle had a band, and the band would play upstairs.
You write your
in the
first
attic.
lyric.
So there's all instruments. There's a 4-track there. Like from I was born, there's a band upstairs. When I'm coming from school, I'm hearing drums. I'm hearing the band. Yeah. So
can you imagine that these days? Because I remember them kind of things back in the day. The band would be in someone's house, you know.
Yeah,
in someone's
drums.
house.
No, like I hear it from up the road.
Yeah,
you couldn't do that now.
You can't do that now. People complain, man. Just get that, you'd be out, man.
So that was like that was like mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like growing up in that kind of environment. I got a picture on my Instagram where one of my uncles on the drums, one of my uncles is on the bass, and then I'm there with a mic in my hand at like 8 years old.
You should make that album cover.
In the attic of my grandma's house.
Yeah, that needs to be.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So luckily I grew up in a artist environment. You know what I'm saying? Not even a criminal environment. Like music, don't get me wrong. A couple of my older uncles, are different. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up in a healthy environment in a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of shows, like, because you see, when I hear you rap, I always hear like a Jamaican influence.
Definitely.
That's one of the things that stands out about you to me, like the accent, because you're from Birmingham. That's different to us, to our ear. I don't know how it must be when you hear London rappers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But for us, well, I can't say us, but for me, when I hear like someone from Birmingham rapping, it's always... It's just something different. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
What I like about, especially about London rap,
the yard mixture.
What I like more about London rap now as it's going on is, because in Birmingham, growing up especially until like 2000, it was, you was either white English, no Polish was around yet, no Eastern European really was around yet, Indian, Pakistani, Jamaican, or you're from, there's a couple people from like St. Kitts, Barbados, Trinidad. That was it for most of. So I never got to hear, you know what I mean, more of my brothers from Nigeria, Ghana and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So I get to hear that vibe now and that energy now. Yeah. And actually, that's what's running the world right now.
Yeah, it is. I think people, even if people kind of were from there, they
wouldn't even say it themselves.
Yeah. So
I just that kind of setting.
It was just that kind of setting. They'll still act like they're kind of they'll gravitate towards the Caribbean side. Of
things. So when that,
you wouldn't even know.
When that
they
broke,
even say they were.
When that seal broke, I think that was a big forward for identity in the UK as well.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, instead of just putting everyone like black, you know them ones like there's like black, but there's like these men are over here.
It's
doing
a nuanced
these
thing, man.
Over here doing this, it's all different, but it's all
together. But
it's all together. But
we've got different.
You know what I mean? But
And we can, and we're all allowed to take a bit from there, because we're all the same people.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah, it's true that it wasn't really something that was overly celebrated back in the day. And I don't really like. I know quite a few people from Birmingham. I don't know no African people from Birmingham.
How do you mean?
I don't know no like.
If they are, they're young.
No, maybe
they're
they
under
are.
a certain
no,
age.
maybe they are, but we just call them from Birmingham. We're not like.
Nah, trust me. There was a Somalian guy named Sammy, in Birmingham. Yeah. I can tell you now, most people when we was growing up in the 90s, he was that Somalian Sammy.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
100%. There'll be one.
Yeah.
To the how it is now.
So how comes?
Like that's a different. That's a
wasn't
totally
going to Birmingham. How come only Jamaican people got sent to Birmingham?
But you know, you got to even look at it. Let's look at it like Hackney, Tottenham, South, blah blah blah. Hackney, predominantly Caribbean.
Yeah.
Tottenham is predominantly African, but people don't really talk about that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you remember that band that came out and they were shining in the Rolls Royces and thing. Remember it came out in Grand Daily. They had the umbrella and all of that. That was all of the African man from Tottenham, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain areas that got like
I get what you're saying.
That were predominantly like African. Like Peckham, I felt like there was one point that was a bit more of a Cockney area at one point. If you don't remember, like, only 4 horses in that.
Yeah. Then that's the depiction that's given to us on the TV.
Yeah.
Innit?
Still. And
then you got Brixton, but between Brixton and Peckham, I felt like Peckham was more of the African area.
Yeah.
Brixton was more of the Caribbean area.
Yeah, it just feels like it, and it's like Tottenham feels.
Maybe I'm wrong. Like people correct me, but if you look at you remember how it was when we was younger.
Yeah, it's all a melting pot now. But at one point,
now it's just
at one point in it at them times there.
I'm talking them times. Talking like 80s/90s.
But I would say if anybody's listening, whatever your background is, bring that culture forward. That's the whole kind of thing we tried to do with MD7, and even from the name. So we watched. Cause I remember before we came out with the first album, we went to New York.
When did it start?
We was recording. We done.
Did Cipher recruit you guys? Like were you guys like a younger?
Yeah. Cipher's older.
So Cipher was doing.
Cipher was already doing music.
Was he Cipher Jules them time?
Yeah, he was already doing his music and everything.
It's always been Cipher Jules.
Yeah. He was doing his music already.
How did you meet? If anything, is the question now.
I can't remember. Just like mutual friends and things like that.
Family, mutual friends.
Just mutual friends, just being about.
Do you remember the whole put together like the? That was their
but
place.
Jay and Cipher are cousins, so he brought in Jay.
Okay.
Jawar's done all the artwork for. He does the artwork for the albums.
Yeah,
a lot of the
he does tattoos now.
Yeah, he does tattoos now. He was an award-winning barber. He won like the barber.
Yeah, he had the barber and he had the tattoos.
Yeah. So he's won the championships a few years in a row and all that kind of stuff. Wow. So he led the art direction. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say I led the lyrical direction, but some people do see it like that. But I did focus on that a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where Jawar done the same, Cipher done the same, but Cipher was quite split with the business as well.
Yeah.
So there's certain energy that's gonna go to that. So you know what I mean. But that's what made MD7.
No, that's big. That's big. What was there more? Was there ever more people in there?
Oh yeah, before that there was like 12 man.
That's what I'm saying. 12 man for real.
And it was a trio.
That 11 man and a girl. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It was a group called Lyric Bone Click or something like that. But we just have different meetings and just ciphers and you know what I mean. But nothing stuck until we made MD7. That's when it stuck.
Yeah.
Well, that's like donkeys years ago when man was like young teenager. And then after that, that's when I started to come to London, started to perform.
Yeah, but you see with the MD7 thing, what was your first tune that you lots dropped?
It was an EP that was like Silent Screams. Yeah, it was like Silent Screams and Art of Survival. That's
the first tunes that you dropped that you lots just dropped as a collective, as MD7.
We dropped it like an EP before that on vinyl, and then we came with.
Okay, so you lots was doing it vinyl days, you know. How did that work then? So
Yeah, because it's like 2000.
you said something about a 4-track, innit?
No, but that's when I was a child. Like,
Okay, so
I was seeing that from I was like,
how did you record it for it to go on vinyl? You know what I'm saying?
oh,
This is before my time, so I'm like actually
no,
even learning.
You had to go to like, you had to before digital and all that. You had to get it from the studio and
Record it the same way, innit?
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
But how would they be
do you know what I'm saying?
collecting the data?
It's on
For it to go
it was
on the
it was on these
records.
things called DAT tapes, or yeah, it was on a DAT tape.
Okay,
There's a thing
so
called a DAT
did
tape.
you ever see the process of how they got them? You know them ones. How did they get it onto that circle thing? You know them ones.
See, we used to do dub plate.
might
We used
know
to
this
do
shit.
dub plate. See, every time we performed, we used dub plates.
That's the metal thing, innit?
Yeah.
The record, yeah. We used to get our dub plates. Know the same place where Jawar's tattoo was, Black Diamonds Inc., where Urban Studio was. That's where the dub plates was in there.
That place.
Wooligan, he used to do it, and at the same time, Big Mikey, all the grime and garage selection, they got their dub plates from it there as well. So when it comes to Birmingham, like hip hop, grime, and whatever music they're doing, even if it's niche and 4x4 and all that kind of stuff, we all still together. Like we all each other's cousins, little brothers, homies, brethrens.
I always say I like how you lot got it down there. Like their energy's different. Their culture, like Birmingham, is totally different to London. Like there's really like a family vibe there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's always something going on.
There could be more going on, but there's a good energy in the way of because at times we ain't had so much. We have to. It's like we have to try to cling together as a community as much as we can. You know what I mean? In this day and age.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So the hip hop community, you know what I mean? Like shout out to R.I.P. Mega Stress, our DJ. Yeah. Like there's times things have happened, like the passing of passing of Major. About to say that we all kind of pulled together.
I see that. And like with Major, can you give me a bit of insight? Because for me, I just saw when Major passed, and I saw how much of you like loved him and how much what was Major?
Major was basically
to the community.
Basically, Major had a studio in Hockley. Yeah. Well, from before that, I didn't know him before that, but he used to run studio in his house. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are MCs that are older that are like, he recorded me first time in his house, So, cause of his energy, different type of people go to his studio, and keep going for years. Then he moved to Hockley, opposite from where Black Diamond and Urban and and different people, all different ages, have been going there for years. Like it's been a hub for years. Like even on Friday nights, after the Friday night and I'm in my yard, I'm like and I'm like, I'll be like, I don't know, say if I was chilling at my yard back in the day, like bundling spliff or something, I'm like, actually I'm gonna go Majors and smoke these spliffs, see who's there and just chill and say wagwan. Even if I'm not recording, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's so many artists, a lot of artists, the Leishas, Vaders, RM, Jake, whoever you can mention has been through the doors and been recorded from Major. You know what I mean? Whoever you can mention from Birmingham has been in that studio and recorded music. You know what I mean? So
like who? Some like
everybody, Lady Leisha, Mist, like everybody you can name in Birmingham.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what this pod's about. Like it shows lineage.
You know.
That's one of the things, isn't it? Like, because not like history is rewritten if you don't tell it.
Yeah, serious.
If you don't tell it, if the right people don't tell it, then it just gets rewritten. And then when
what do you think is getting rewritten? Come, let's deal with it.
Just
from my perspective,
well, I don't know. Like I feel like when I watch other you know what I'm saying? Like we watch the YouTube.
It just doesn't get written. It's not. I don't think it's not about rewritten. Some things just don't get mentioned.
Yeah, but it's like big chunks of things get not mentioned.
It depends on who you are as a person. I've realised that because you know when you're comfortable as a person, like within yourself, you're cool to just say what happened. And I think that's what Birmingham remind me of a lot of you lot are more similar to Americans. Do you get what I'm saying? When they're talking about when they big up people, you lot will really big up the people from the beginning and big up. You see, London, they don't really have that attitude. London, like a lot of people have that attitude where they want to sound like they did it all themselves.
Yeah,
if you understand what I'm saying. So
well, there is. I would say the lineage of Birmingham is, for MCs that come out of. That there's MCs before, but it was like Bassman, yeah, and MSI, yeah. There's groups before MSI, and there's jungle MCs and there's people before Bassman, but them two made an impact. Did make a big impact. Then there's like MD7, then there's like Vader, Badness. These people are like the garage and grime. Yeah. But we're all bridgings. You know what I'm saying? We've probably all done work together in some kind of way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all part of the same community. And there's like a few people that I wouldn't say that really kind of moved it forward then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it ain't, I can't say it just from a hip hop level because Vader is mentioned on our first album. If there's a interlude where on our first album where it's a radio skit, a radio advertisement. We make like the local radio, the local radio guy that everybody knows his voice. We made him do an advertisement, and then make him do like a fake dance. So it's like Big John was the main reggae DJ. So we mentioned certain groups, and we mentioned Vader. You know what I'm saying? And he's a grime MC. He was a garage MC at the time. Like, so that just showed that
all lineage. It's all lineage.
That the awareness of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we work together now, chill together now, but we were doing different genres. We used the same studios.
You almost had to do them things them times to keep. It's like not like we forget. But you have to do things like that. Back in the days, every tune I jumped on, guess what I used to do? It's 010. Start rapping. It's 011. Like, tune's not even coming out to 013. Man's still saying 011. So I had to scrap that tune. That's what made me jump off of it. But it's like you have to document certain things, fam. I'm not going to lie. So else it's... We just can only talk about it. This is documentation now. So
we done a documentary, the part 1 of a legacy documentary filmed by Daniel Alexander. I was a co-director, executive producer on there, and basically we actually talked to everybody and tried to get all the stories and the names, and basically center it around different studios, different places that people used,
different hubs and that in there.
Yeah, because it's mainly about certain different studios, certain different rehearsal spaces, especially for the grime MCs. So if a rehearsal space opens up, they'll be recording sets in those rehearsal spaces that will become legendary sets, and legendary clashes will happen in this building. The same places that every time we do a show up here and we do a rehearsal, we're in there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the hip hop artists, the dancehall artists, Jokey Ranks and all them, we all using the same producers, same studios, getting our dub plates cut in the same place by Hooligan, who's, Swift the Beats. Who's you've heard loads of his music, Swift the Beat. There was a little kid sitting down on the speaker while we was getting the dubs cut before we come up here to perform. That was
blessings.
That was yo, R.I.P. man. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there was a little kid there. That's Swift the Beats. He's the main the number one. I would say the number one producer from Birmingham.
Yeah, grown up, like just watching it. That's what I'm saying. It's all lineage. Everyone that comes on here breaks down how they was in the studio with this person, or how they was a fan of that person, or they was just. Do you understand? Like they couldn't even rap when this man was around.
Listen, there's a jigsaw puzzle. It
all fits in,
and we need to work out our jigsaw puzzle. Yeah, we need to fit all the pieces in the right order. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I feel. That's why I have these conversations. We can just talk and talk and talk because it's all golden era. Yeah. It's all stuff that. Do you understand? I wasn't there when you was what you're talking about, you know, but I can still see what you're saying because I was somewhere else in that same time. So I know what kind of was going on, and I know the kind of, you get me? I know how the community was. I know how studio was. I know how it was like. You understand? I would be in studio sessions with people like, you know, like a K Coke or someone that we're rapping with them, innit? Or we've just bucked them, or, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, innit? Like the different Page or something, or a Dubs or something, yeah? But then these are the guys that are, do you get what I'm saying, innit? Like they're going on to do big things in the music. But
like everybody I've seen lots of people I've seen in majors. You know what I mean? The JK from his young depths, man. All
You're
of
just
them.
seeing them doing normal stuff though.
Yeah.
You're just seeing them normally, like just normally going to the shop and you know them ones and just rap it. Like, but then they're the people that go on. Do you get what I'm saying? Cause like
you see, for me, I feel like we could be a lot more helpful. I'm not saying it doesn't help, but I think like we overly credit any move. But you got to remember, England, we're not really at a place where anyone's.
No, but I rate gigs for gigs would reach out certain times. You know what I'm saying, regardless of what's going on.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't reach out.
I have to salute my man.
And he definitely. But I'm just saying, like our industry is not that big from the lack of help people give each other.
Yeah.
So when people do get a position, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Giggs has done his thing, but even people ain't helped even. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everyone's got their little spot and that's it. If you understand what I'm saying, you know, like even you could do is good.
I could just imagine that his team comes with a lot of political shit as well.
I'm not
some people can't even get tunes just off the strength that you might be, you know, like because he's. Do you understand what I'm saying? In it, like there's people that he's probably got a selected few areas that the man them's cool with, so we can. Do you get me? Them man, they can get bust.
Me personally, what I liked what Giggs did was what he did for SN1, straightforward. Because I think that's what.
Yeah, because that's all of these boys, isn't it?
That's what you really need.
All of these boys, yeah.
Not, like we haven't really seen many people in this country come out with their own label from their success. Like their own set of people that they bring forward from their success.
Or that's true, you know.
That's the direction I was going.
Actually,
what he's done for his own area was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the collabs were like...
No, but to see the collabs, they're more now. That's why I'm looking at things more now. You know, like what he's doing. I see him doing stuff with the younger lot and stuff. You know what I'm saying, innit?
Yeah, no, I'm out of touch, so, you know, I would never even be able to talk in that sense. But I was just, in the initial stage, I just liked what he did in terms of
he brought his boys, but that's what I
now,
thought you should have been.
One thing about Giggs, if you're a UK rapper and you're like, you're doing okay, even if you're not really boss, and you've got one sick tune, and you're around Giggs, a lot of UK rappers wouldn't feel the like, yo, can we, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like an impossible thing. So Giggs always still seems reachable, and that's a good thing. That for me, that's how he feels.
Reachable when because I can see within how he is as a person. I don't think he will fuck with anyone anyway. He won't just fuck with anyone.
In the golden era times,
I don't think in the
golden era times, I don't think you can just get a tune with Giggs just like that because it still
even now,
you still would have had road politics going on.
He's particular. He knows who he likes and who he don't like. You can see with these characters, I've got friends that like him. So you know, you see your friends, they got similar characteristics. They won't just fuck with anyone. They like who they like.
100%.
That's another thing as well.
What I'm saying is, it's not it's not a bougie thing. That with anyone. So that's why man has to rate.
I could name a bare other rappers that. Do you understand what I'm saying, cousin? They're not just gonna fuck with anyone, regardless of what area you're from. They're just not fucking with it. That's their characteristics.
Actually, I've just answered that because I think the way the conversation's going is making it sound like I'm overly going against.
No,
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Man, this is
shout out to K Coke as well, because.
What's the tune you did with him?
I've done I'm ready, and there was another one.
As well. Margs is on that tune, isn't it?
Shout out to Margs, man. Mashdown all day.
Do you know what? Shout out to Squingy as well, because that's how I met these man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met these man through Squingy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Squingy is the
but remember, I said it from his one. He's the organizer of.
He's the man.
He's the organizer. He's the one.
See,
that
man, like
sees the vision
Squingy,
and
yeah.
It's different.
He's a good-hearted brother, man. Good energy, man.
Definitely. He's a gentleman.
Always. How he conducts himself.
You know what I mean? Not mention. You know, like how he was orchestrating. You know, like them.
See why I had to big up K. Cole, Gigs, and certain people at that time. Even Professor Green, and because there was a time when I came back again in like 2013, 2012 or whatever, and started to do music in
like a solo kind of like.
Yeah.
When you was Malik.
Yeah, that's when I already came out done a solo thing before that, but like for a few years I quit. Yeah.
This is more golden era.
And then I have to say certain man, just the way that they embrace me.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Especially when you've took a few years out of the game. Where certain man's like,
you know what, I think you look at yourself a certain way and everyone else looks at you different.
Nah, but
yeah,
you know,
that's what I think
can't
it
lie
is.
to you because you.
That's what
you know what it is. No. It's not even. I know that, but it's just the timing of it, and just the way it's done. Because enough people embrace, man.
Yeah.
But there's just certain when you do it with the right timing,
I
know how to.
I filmed the video of him in Stonebridge.
Yeah.
One of the videos I filmed with him is in Stonebridge.
Oh yeah. We was with the man them that day.
Like
Is it all the man them?
Kid Villain, everything.
Yeah, Skrilla Kid.
It was all like I said that them times there. It was all on a certain. It was no one had.
Nah, but know what it is before that in the game.
Everyone was like reachable as long as you was there. Not like when I say reachable.
It wasn't reachable before that.
Just come.
Yeah.
But if you was there, you can get a tune.
You might be popular, but you're not making so much money over a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Them time. That's his golden era.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The people were all rubbing shoulders.
Nah,
I'm not even out here to make it sound. You know,
no, we was all rubbing shoulders them times, fam.
I remember leaving that shoot on foot. You know what
I'm saying? Bro.
But it was them man that asked me to come in.
Do you remember before?
With you and Meeks and them man. I'll tell the truth.
Yeah, shout out Meeks and S Squad.
When I put the before I put a question. Remember when I said there was a time when Joe Black and Gigs was people would like there was conversations amongst people over who was the best.
Who was there?
And then when I put the question, I can't remember what one I put it on, but it was kind of like it wasn't looked at like how I'm looking at it from then. They're looking at it from now, from where Gigs is, and you understand
you
that Black doesn't even do music.
Yo, shout out to Joe Black. That's another one of my UK favourites at that era. You know what I'm saying?
At that time and that, innit?
Yeah.
What bothers me is that I felt like, because I've had conversations with people from Brum and everywhere outside London, and I'm going to end with the nice side of it. But in the initial stage, remember, I'm a person that was getting around more than a lot of other people, so I'm hearing the conversations. I see that they don't feel like they wasn't getting a look in a certain way. You get what I'm saying?
What, in Brom?
Yeah, just in general, I just don't feel like.
Listen. I gotta break this to London. I gotta break this to you guys.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it.
You know, like when black people bring up like racism and like people are like, well, it ain't that bad, and you know, Jay-Z's rich and Beyonce's rich and Oprah's rich.
Yeah,
so you know,
everyone else, can.
Yeah, you do that shit.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You straight do that shit.
But we've already said that. That's how you like. We feel like that's how you look at yourself.
So I
got you here because I know you were sick.
Yeah.
But when I say
you're still sick now.
What I was gonna say, look, this is what I say to you. Yeah, you see some of us that was building them bricks.
Yeah,
us that was labourers building them bricks.
Yeah,
for the next generation to eat. And
that's
our next generation's eating though.
Yeah,
so our work was done, innit, in a way, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
We was building for the next generation as well.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm still doing that.
Yeah.
So even this podcast is building for the next generation.
There's things about lineage. So there's people that have come just because you might not be the on the stage rocking, you know.
Listen,
people that have come from your lineage. There's things going on behind the scenes.
Listen,
what are you talking about?
I'm more going into the behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, like. Music ain't totally done. Like I even produce for, you know what I mean, produce beats for other artists now. You know what I'm saying? There's already documentaries, you know what I mean, in the works. You know what I'm saying? So it's a thing where it's like I'm trying to take it to that level where I've got a certain amount of knowledge and a certain scope that I need to put it into play. 100%. It's people my age that need to help help make that puzzle and put the pieces together. The young people can't do it. In States, it's them over 30, over 40, over 50-year-old men, who's been in the game for years, producing for years, who are the engineers, who doing little something, who are the
little magics and the little
who just
dots.
know certain stuff. Oh, you should sample this or use this or. There's a lot of these older people that they've got, you know what I mean? All these QC, a lot of these men have got an older man somewhere who's got a certain scope that can add those certain things, and that's what's needed to help our culture, to help young people know who they are in the UK. They don't even know their own musical lineage. We have to give that to them. I can't blame these kids that they don't know certain artists or they don't know how our cultures come about. For me, it's about showing them in certain ways.
Our scars, we shouldn't take a lot of our scars personal. Like, we can have conversations, but I don't take none of my scars personal because I don't feel like any of us knew what we were doing. We was the industry was a baby.
Yeah, it was a baby. We was making mistakes on the job, and the way I look, the way I feel it, like, yo, like I look good. You know what I mean. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I was left off bad and bougie.
That's why we're doing it.
Rest in peace. Take off. Today. But you know what I mean? So it's a thing where that's why I'm never bitter about the game.
But I feel like you underestimate how everyone else looks at you.
Is it? Definitely. I know, but I just don't like to throw it out there like that.
Please throw it out there.
Definitely. Because when I rap and I'm saying certain bars. Definitely. You know, when I'm rapping, I think I'm 100% the best.
You know what's fuck Chris as well is that you see, like, your name is like one of the like people in London when they ask about Birmingham MCs and that, yeah. People say, yeah, Malik MD7 and you know, like it stops at you sometimes. You know what I mean? You're like the commercial name in about
for that generation.
So that's what I'm like. And when people say that, it's not because that was never from hype. That was purely from your talent. If you get what I'm saying, I believe that.
Now, of course.
In the time where you got given that, and you got to understand your vocal identity as well.
Oh, 100%, bro.
It's not like anyone from London.
This is my life. I even got into his accent when I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what I'm saying.
He did a drum and bass tune, cold, bro. He could even attack drum and bass on like some crazy level. Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people do know on a high level, but I just feel like we didn't come from the time where the reflection was given to us.
Yeah.
That's what I say about.
I have to say that's the only certain times. That's the only time I was like, and you can get disheartened only because I was living in Birmingham. Maybe if I moved to London.
Nah, man, you might have lost your identity. Fam.
Nah, that ain't.
We're looking at you like because you're from Birmingham. Not because you're just from Birmingham, but you're from Birmingham and you can have it with the London lot.
When I say move to, when I say move to London, that means like I ain't trying to be no Londoner. I'm looking like I'm here. Yeah, a lot of the time in the week.
Right, man, that's come from Birmingham. That's
and
be in
there's
London,
enough man
gonna
around
start
me.
Turning Londonish. But you start saying, "You get me," and all this.
I know I can't do that. Listen, if you see my dad, my dad's been in this country, nearly 50 years. Yeah. There's people who ask my dad, like, when did you come over? Like, it's like in the last like 7 years or something. So, you know what I mean? That ain't changing.
The things that you're saying, London legends are saying the same thing. So like I feel like a lot of things is down to perspective and perception. You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm guilty of it myself. I just realised after a certain amount of time that a lot of us didn't realise the impact we have. And people that are still waiting for us till this day.
Yeah.
And
still waiting.
We rush
you still rapping, yeah?
Rush our age. It's like we want to be old. Because I've sort of got a good 20 before we can actually say we need to bow down. But we're trying to make ourselves old before our time. And I think that's part of the reasons why we shut down certain arts that we do. And I think we shouldn't ever shut down our creativity.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
One thing about creativity wise, I can't put a cap on that. It moves in different forms, you know what I'm saying? Same way Jay was an artist, hairdresser, that barber gone into a tattooist, you know what I mean, artist. So it's like
always going to be creative. But listen, I've got two things. Who said this bar? Out in Croatia, trying to find a new connect. I've been hungry, but I ain't talking about Budapest. who said that bar. Comments. Next thing, El Presidente.
Yeah.
One Day, the film.
One day.
We was gonna skip past it, bro.
Classic.
That's classic. Like I couldn't believe that. Like
Euro. Euro's part of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I couldn't believe.
We got Euro,
like,
S-Squad, man like Dylan Duffus.
El
Yeah,
Presidente
he was in the
hard,
intent and
fam.
that.
You know, like he was hard. Like you could have just been El Presidente. Like say like there must have been a set of people that have never heard Malik MD7 them times.
Yeah.
And they're just thinking, who's El Presidente?
Come on.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I remember
come
you
on.
even did a tune where you break down the film. You
Oh
break
yeah.
down the actual film.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in the description for the people to
Yeah,
check it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But
That film is a British classic as well. I would
classic.
say Brum talent is very is got a level to it that people try and hide from sometimes. You know what I mean?
That
So,
film was cold, fam.
even just how they are,
Evil
they
of them man there.
even
innit?
how you lot move as a family. Because I got the privilege of seeing how they move as a team. You know what I'm saying? When they used to come nick me. You know what I mean? I remember the whole team coming down. You know what I mean? Preacher, One Eye. Obviously, I mentioned Meeks and the Euro, the Twins. Everyone used to come down. I got to meet. When they came down, it was like they came down as a set. You got to meet their little family section. You know, like it was a family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it wasn't just. It was like us. Then you'll see S-Squad.
Yeah.
You'll see some of like Royalists.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
The Royalists.
Royalists.
Pifawama.
FIFA Wana.
Yes, and then
yeah.
man, yes.
He's
Yeah.
cold as well.
Wes.
Yeah, man.
That's why I got the
Piff.
freestyle. Remember when I came
Wes
down?
and that, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Innit? Wes and that, innit? He came. I swear, Wes came down and filmed a video for me. One of my big videos. You know, like you see, Propane linked me to these guys, man. Because I know he used to go down there. He used to like. I remember Propane did a song with you. I think with Squeaks.
Yeah,
Filling
me
another
and-
one.
me
It
and
was like a
Squeaks
big
done a
link up
tune,
here.
yeah.
I just didn't get to be on all of the tracks.
But that even shows you, that's a testimony. When you check Malik, because Malik is like, he doesn't age, yeah?
Yeah, because it said 1995,
Bruv,
bro.
Malik
That's 10
don't
years
age,
before
cuz.
we're even
if
talking
you really
about
do the
golden
research
era.
on how long ago he's done videos, you'd be like, no way.
Do you get what I'm saying, fam?
You understand?
And he's popped up in... cool. He's almost not eligible. Does that make sense? He's before.
He's before the golden.
But
Era.
I did.
before the
I
golden
wasn't.
era.
I wasn't.
But
I
there's
wasn't
a
really
period
rapping.
of time. There's
That's
a period of
more-
time when I remember you popped up and it was like, oh shit. Like,
because for me, when you do,
I didn't pop up till 1999, really.
You know, but when you see,
No, but you see
what
when
they
you
say,
came-
you're
when you
only
was
as good as
in
your
the
last
golden
piece of
era.
work,
Yeah.
innit? Yeah. So one thing I can say is that you've stayed relevant for the longest.
when you
Even
turn
longer than
up,
London,
when you turn
you've
up
got to think
and...
about it, Malik. Yeah. You've
That's
stayed
true.
relevant
When
for
I
long-
even
for
when I
different periods
even when I
of relevance.
yeah. So like
And you got a mad
because
catalogue
to me when
as
it
well.
went to like road rap, then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I like
Which is what we call
do
the
this.
golden era.
yeah.
That's
Like,
what we called in the golden era.
Just come back to this. So,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. So it was kind of easy for me to just come back out, and with artists like hollering, like actively hollering at me, like yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking to work. Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
so
But till this day, it's that, bro.
mm,
So that's what I'm saying to you. My thing is that I think you got the main privilege of bro. You got the main ground pavement privilege. Like obviously the rest of man have got respect, but rap wise, if like people still jump on tunes with you till today, like you're like on some
Yeah.
relevant, like you're you know what I'm saying.
Like
Still-
you've been dropping 100, like you just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I was
you're,
saying, yeah.
like you're dropping tunes
Now-
regular and killing it.
They're
Man,
looking
you know what
man
it is?
are still sending for you, like
Yeah.
yo, like they're still listening to that old joint that you did
Yeah.
and saying, yeah, you know what? I reckon my man still, you know, them ones like,
100%.
and they know that like your name still stamped,
Yeah.
still warrants a certain
100%.
amount
but
of people
that's
to listen
that's
to it.
all that work put in back in the day, all that traveling
No, that's right.
up and down the country. You know what I mean?
No, but it's
Put
not
in-
just that; it's the bars as well,
Yeah.
fam.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be actually.
Nah, but you can have bars, but it's that
There's
grind
enough man
behind
that
it,
are
and
You're too humble, man.
huh?
You're too humble.
Nah, it's the grind behind the bars, man.
Listen, you're too
You don't
humble,
listen
bro.
to the bars.
The
man.
grind.
I'm
You're
not
not
Listen,
listening to the
I know,
bars,
I
man.
know.
You're
Listen,
not
We'll have to
listening
agree to
the bars
disagree.
properly,
You know,
fam.
like
Listen, if there's
But I
no
think it's
grind
a-
behind the
it's a
bars,
humble
you
trick.
don't even get to hear it.
I hear that.
If
but
I don't come to London to spit it and come out my yard all the time and
But
meet new people,
they've
now
done
I have
that
to
as
tell.
well.
Now, but I have to tell these people, even if you've got, well, they got the internet now, so they can sit in their yard and do it.
Exactly.
But I'm saying there was a time when if I didn't go places and be in people's face and
But what
not
about the
even
people
in
that did
people's
that as
face,
well?
but you had to actively go to certain holler at certain people,
but this is all
and go to
before
that
the golden
radio.
era, bro. This is that 10 years before the golden era's even started, fam.
You
By
was
the
good,
golden
bro,
era,
man.
you're well established. You're way established by golden era times. What are you talking about? You've had 10 years.
What do you think I'm leaving my yard to do a video for, man, if I think it is rubbish? No way. It's a legendary
That's
thing.
why in the golden era, we only know you for like certain tunes, you know, like excellent tunes. You know why? Because you had the first 10 years of being MD7,
100%.
and that's already
100%.
that's already like monumental and epic.
100%.
Like you've had the squad like kind of run. Like I did LORD, but I didn't do it for 10 years, bro. We did it for like 2 years or something, or 3 years, and then it was Hunt solo. So you've had 10 years of
And
a
I think
group,
it's like
and
America.
then
You see how America, it was like,
Oh,
New
yeah,
York
yeah.
had it, then ATL had it, then now they're going to Detroit. Like Birmingham's like that, because Birmingham, you've got more stars than London right now. So
Well, you know what it is?
Let's talk about that. Yeah,
name
let's talk about
some.
what Bugsy Malone. Yeah,
Okay,
He's not from
Not
Bro. He's not
Birmingham,
from
sorry,
Bro.
no, Mist. I'm saying
Mist.
Midlands though.
Yeah.
Midlands, okay.
Midlands in general, yeah, because Midlands, we'd have to talk about the Midlands.
Name
as a whole.
5 from there.
We've got Bugsy Malone.
Yeah, okay.
We've got
He's
Mist,
Manchester ain't Midlands though.
isn't it?
Nah.
Oh, my bad then. So I'll take him out of it. He can go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mist. Yeah.
It's gonna be looking
Lady the Show.
shaky.
Who?
Lady the Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got JK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got Emily Sunday. Where's she from? She might.
I thought she-
Oh, actually, Georgia Smith.
Georgia Smith. Thank
Yeah.
you, Georgia Smith. I got there's another one there. What's that guy? Yeah, no, but that's another Manny. Well, I was gonna say Manny Meeks.
But there's not basically there's not enough though for me.
But that's more than you see the people that I mentioned. The way they are bigger.
But you
than
forgot
everyone
Millions
that's
though.
Millions. Thank you. That's I was gonna say that.
Millions.
Yeah.
That, he
Okay.
was in my mind from earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
So help me prove my point instead of trying to prove you wrong. Man. You see what Malik's trying to do?
Now talent wise, now listen, for me personally, talent wise, the Birmingham's got some of the top spitters in the country. Like
Facts.
you know what I'm saying?
Facts. I
To
can-
me,
Yeah, they
drill.
can
When
have
I
it.
listen to
They
hear
can
drill
have it.
artists,
They
to
can have
me,
it.
Millions has got
And it sounds
storytelling. He's
It
got
sounds different.
he's-
That's what.
you know what I'm saying. But
People already
a lot of the
cadence.
time,
I've seen like younger artists take his cadence already.
a lot of the time, we ain't
yeah.
got the hype. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you can't say that anymore.
Nah.
cuz.
Not no more. That's done.
Nah, I mean the hype.
We know who
But
you
I'm
are,
giving
man.
5
No, I'm
artists,
talking about. But I think they're better than most people in their genre. They're better than most
And
people
they
in their
get received
category.
like that though.
Nah, not as what they are. No
Oh,
way.
man, JK
Yes, they
gets
are.
bigged up, fam.
Millions
that?
is bigger than
Millions
and
is
bigger than
massive.
most of the drill artists, bro.
What's that? He's bigger than most.
Who is he not?
But
bigger than?
I think he's better than whoever is bigger than.
Whoever's bigger than.
Whoever is bigger
Than
than
him.
him, I think he's a better lyricist than the people
And I think,
bigger
but I
than.
think he gets received in that way. I'm just
Yeah.
saying over time.
Now there's some Londoners who will give it up, but not all. But at the same time, if there's
No,
somebody
but
from
he
the
gets received.
I think-
he
if
gets
somebody from the
received
home
with love.
but if there's somebody from the home team,
Yeah.
you're gonna have them in a special regard.
But what you're saying is from our time, and I agree with that from our
Yeah.
time. But things have changed, and I argue with me and my brothers my age, and you know what I'm saying, our generation.
Yeah.
Things have changed, and we still.
I don't think it ain't
didn't
changed
even
enough.
like it in our
Listen,
time.
It ain't
if you
changed
ask
enough.
certain people
We didn't
their
even
top
look at it right in our
5,
time.
Millions is in their top 5.
Yeah.
Like if you ask
yeah.
certain people,
Yeah,
like, their top 5,
100%.
they'll say you hear like raw. See before, see you, yeah. When you're getting mentioned in them times, yeah, it's like man will say 4 man from London.
Yeah.
And then you say, you know what, the 5th one, like you get me, like
Yeah.
not like we're picking, but you know, like no, but them guys are sick. You know, like we might not hear you rapping with the London man all of the time. We might say, hey, you understand what I'm saying? You stand out when we hear you from over there.
Yeah.
No, I understand it's got better, but
now
I don't
it's different.
think
Man will put 3 Birmingham. Man will put Meeks, Manny, and Millions in their thing. Like, do you understand?
Yeah, no.
in
No,
their thing.
if mans
1
are
and
doing
2,
that,
fam.
I haven't seen too much. I don't see too much of that. If I watch anything where it's a London show or anything like that, and they're talking like that, they'll give respect. You know what I mean? They'll give respect, but
Only to you, man, more time.
not the one.
MD7, yeah. Like Malik
But-
and
But
Cipher and Jawar.
still, remember the industry's here. But there's no buildings in Birmingham, so you can have more.
Big up the Sanko for centre.
Nah, no, I'm talking about musically.
You know, I'm joking.
You've got Despa and them, yeah.
Huh?
Who's you know Despa who JK and them, yeah.
Okay, I've heard.
Yeah.
it, yeah.
So you got that label there, yeah.
yeah.
and you've got people doing certain things, but like established, like like radio station, any magazines, like a lot of that. What we had, even the YouTube channels, has gone down, and I think for a lot of the rest of the country.
Because I feel like that's
production,
but that's down to the
production is gone down.
I think that's down to agenda because again, Bram, I don't feel like the record labels and that can easily get a hold of them. The content creators, the music makers. Don't
get me wrong. There's a few labels and things like that, but again, until there's a thing where you know what I mean. I know there's been organizations or labels that I'm like, should we set up something in Brom or a Brom side of this? There's people who's been talking about that.
Some of the best producers from your side, like even Urban.
Oh yeah. Urban Monk, Swift the Beats,
with these man, same time when I came down that time, to do the video of Cipher and Dirty and them man, and Urban Monk was there, innit? It was in the studio with them, like a couple months later, I've been my ends. Urban Monk's in the studio around the corner from my house. And he's doing the AB Whitehouse thing. He's doing working with gigs. You understand what I'm saying? So like for me, like that was a lot through you.
Yeah, and a lot of the times we've gone through with production, like you know what I mean. Definitely,
it's just not mentioned.
Yeah, but it's just that the not enough mention because we haven't got enough bodies in the industry or just enough Birmingham people who's probably even live in different places you know what I mean, are in the industry doing different things, program director, this that, so it's just making the industry more of a whole. So even people in Manchester, people in Leeds, people in Liverpool who are interested in music, some of you need to set up labels and magazines or digital whatever in your own places, in your own cities. And there's going to be some of you that are going to move to London and work in the BBC, work with different labels. And you have to be pushing your city. You have to be carrying your city on your back. If you're from Leeds and there's probably a rapper that's big, but if there's a rapper comes,
Graft, the guy that won the
or a man like Graft, as soon as he comes, you're supposed to be like mentioning him in your conversation wherever you work. You're supposed to.
No, but in some cases, it's like, man, wait for you to come to London. It's mad because we've already got our list of London, man. Just for us, that's personally in it. We got our list of people from London that we've been listening to. So it's like it's very hard for you to even get 2 or 3 people.
But you say that, and then sometimes like you got to remember, people never see the reaction of how much people like them until they first show themselves. And I've watched so many people be a victim to this because they ain't thrown a show themselves.
They don't know that.
They don't even know how many people will come to their show, fam. So until you put your own, sometimes if fuck someone signing you, like until you put your own money behind yourself, sometimes you'll get to see a good reflection of how much people are like you. I'm gonna say it. If any of you like was to do a show in London, like in a month, you would see how packed that show would be. I can guarantee that I'll put my money on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But we just don't have that reflection. I've learned these things in different ways because I've worked with people that I didn't expect to see a cute girl around the corner for. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just about what they're showing on the where we've allowed YouTube to dictate for us, fam.
Yeah,
we didn't do that before.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Somebody can be running up views, but they can't get they can't
fill up a venue.
Yeah, straight.
So we're looking at the
mentally letting it dictate how we view our own music. When really, what about the people you speak to and that's coming up to you and stopping you about your? Do you get what I'm saying?
And why aren't we doing the effort to just throw on a small show, even if you don't want to throw a big show because you don't want to be intimidated? Just put on a little 100 people show, and you see what that does to your heart. And I've done that with people, and they've been like, "Fuck, like thank you for making me do that," just because I got to see what you were saying.
People actually like the bars. People will be doubting ourselves, like how he's humble. See how humble he is. Like,
you're the same way, and then you're just both humble to the point where you want your. I just never want the reflection to be shaded because I know it is. You're like not just yours. I'm saying just in general. Our whole thing is if we don't get signed by the people that's been spoken against right now, then no one don't feel like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it.
That's mad.
Yeah.
We should be feeling like we're the top because we didn't.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let the people that didn't go that way feel good about themselves and come back with some music. Like, yo, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
That way. You know what I'm saying?
Go up and then however it goes. You know what I'm saying, innit?
That's worse.
So what do you think of the music scene over here right now?
I think it's productive. I feel like it's been built up.
Yeah.
So
Do you know
much
something?
that
It changes. It goes in valleys and peaks. It
you know what I'm
goes.
saying? Yeah.
Goes. There's times where we like. I believe that we were on like the edge of conquering the world.
Yeah.
And then this time it's like.
No, but
it's
you
the
know
same
what? 'Cause I
mission
feel like
and
it's doing big.
it goes up and down.
You know why I feel like it's big? Because people like P Diddy. Though he's, you know what I'm saying? Not like
when it comes to the bigness,
no, but he's talking. He's sent. I see him on some program saying a message to his New Yorkers, saying like, "Yeah, man, it's good that you lots do the drill thing and that, but that's London sound." That's what he's saying to them. He's giving them a public service announcement, like that's London sound, and it's good. Like you lot sound good on it, but like, what about our sound that fits into the genre where they have to? Everyone in the rest of the world has to work it out. Why are you doing other people? And it's like, yeah. So do you understand what I'm saying? Like it just showed me that, okay, cool. Like the impact that we're just at home listening to the tunes, not really realizing that in America and other countries, they're listening to the UK sound.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
now for a while
the same way. See, when this, I always say this: when you don't get to see the rapper or get to see the person, guess what you do? You put them on such a high pedestal.
100%.
That's why sometimes I don't think you're in the list. Do you know that? Not because we don't want you in the list. You know what it is? Because we're already looking at you as like, just different. So you're like a Charizard or something. You know, like a different Pokemon.
Yeah,
like you're just like, you're a different Pokemon. Like you're the best of that.
100%. There's people like 57 Dynasty that no one talks about.
That's what
but
I'm
they
saying.
was from a similar time. I don't know
Yeah.
Like I'm only mentioning them because I feel like they deserve a mention from that time.
Now definitely when we was coming out with tunes, it
was like
every time every third show we done, they will be on the bill with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When I went to
Urban Music Seminar,
but you see,
things like that. I
you see the
Urban
Dynasty,
Music Seminar,
when I went to do my
By the way, I've
interview
watched 1,000 rappers come and go.
When I went to do my interview with Ill Mill for his podcast, I met one of them. They was just happened to be there with him and all that. Like so, and it was like I felt like wow, I didn't even know as much. But like you lots are mentioning them.
I used to work for that Urban Music Seminar through Kwame.
Okay.
The influence.
Kwame.
Yeah, he's my brethren's family. So we used to be the people working in there. You know what I mean? Selling the books, doing that. But I learned so much through doing that as well. It's a youngster.
Lineage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's all lineage. It's all story.
What happened to the Urban Music Seminar? I'm sure one got.
It got wicked.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same word. Yeah, when Dame wasn't that the one that Dame's supposed to be coming to? Yeah.
Dame came and spoke at one of them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? This is back in the day as well, when they was popping. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they were popping still. You know, I remember when
everyone was gassed when he came to you. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. These are times when people don't know. It's like Waterloo, even Charlotte Armour, all of the British actors there and all that.
Yeah, remember, but as well, you have to think about the visuals. Cypher was probably like the tallest, henchiest person in UK rap.
Yeah,
till this day. Till this day.
He's a powerful brother as well. So his presence is a lot as well. You know.
No, but he's got the same in here. Shout out to Cypher Jules and the Legacy Centre. So you want to see what Cypher does now? If you don't know, look up the Legacy Centre and the
Money Manual book.
Yeah, Money Manual book, the Legacy Centre, and more.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Big him up. I sent him a message the other day still. You know what I'm saying?
So we have to
get him down still. But
listen,
what's Moorish Delta 7's most known track? And then what's your
Art of
most
Survival?
known track?
It'd be like
The Rain.
It'd be Art of Survival, Silent Screams, and probably Levels or something like that.
Levels.
Yeah, because the timing that it came out as well.
Oh man, I'm so pissed. Because see, Levels was where I took my. See what I forgot at the beginning. That's where it was from.
Where the bar was from. Yeah. So good. Happens,
but it just showed me that he would have just went pop.
Yeah, he would have got it anyway.
He would have got it. You know your thing, man.
But yeah, man. I would say
Levels
for myself. there's for myself, I don't know. There's
a dream within a dream.
Something real, dreaming in a dream, and just 30 rounds. I'm ready.
That's with K Coke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the link.
Check out Streets is Cold as well. The second tune with me and K Coke.
All of them. Yeah. So all of them names you said, I'm gonna bap. Put them all there.
And that drum and bass thing that I did. On your thing.
Yeah, that tune's cool. That's my favorite tune of yours, personally.
Serious? What's it called?
I think it's My Life.
Yeah.
See? No, but you know what? What was it like, being the first celebrities in Birmingham, bro?
It was good and bad because
I hear you, but give us the good first.
The good,
the bad, yeah.
Just having that access and just
because you're like the first celebs in Birmingham.
Yeah, when I came watching Channel U, I remember seeing these guys, fam. I didn't see no one else.
You remember, there's a whole it's just it's mad because there's a whole like gang war culture really brewing
really
at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And we live
and you
in
just navigating
it. Yeah. So
and you lot was well known for being cool with everyone. So how did that even?
Yeah, it was cool, but it's still there was a lot of navigating to do. Like,
of course,
navigating the ends is not easy sometimes. It's like a Warriors team.
Trying to give us an insight for the people.
But the good parts was just traveling, coming out of Birmingham. You know what I mean? Like to this day, I'm a big traveler. I'm in Liverpool tomorrow. I mean, I'm around the country. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been into travel through me getting into music. So I would say the main thing I got out at that time was just that self-development. You know what I'm saying? Of being thrusted around all different type of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm from a small Caribbean black community in Birmingham. Like I never even had friends of other races until I did at like primary school. And then after that, not until I got to a certain age where, you know what I mean? Probably like Baby J, the producer that produced Silent Screams, like you know what I mean? Yeah. So just opened me up to different things. Coming to London and like I said, there's like 5 ethnicities in Birmingham. So just having people from different backgrounds and different cultures and different heritages. You know what I mean? And traveling the world. Went to New York in 1999 as a group, MD7. Before we dropped our music. So we came, and then that's when we made our album, because we basically saw hip hop in motion. We dropped 3.
3.
Yeah, well, 2 main, and there's one called
The Power and the Glory.
Then there's
like been out 20 years.
The Underworld album. Just over 20 years. The Underworld album, and that's a compilation. And big up Baby J, big up Yogi.
Life in the City.
Yeah, and then Life in the City. Yeah.
Yogi. So the same one.
No.
My man that passed.
So big up Yogi, big up the MCs in Dub. There's a couple MCs, and
you lot got a lot of similar names to people that are in London. Bassman.
Yeah.
Now, when the bassman I'm talking about,
it wasn't just me that I thought
the bassman, like from I'm talking about the drum and bass MC bassman. So even
you talk about bassman from Stratford. Sorry, fam. Sorry, fam. I got bad habits. Too hard, but like you know what I'm saying, fam.
Actually,
I just keep quiet.
Here's another influence I never said, that when in like the early 2000s. When the garage MCs were getting more lyrical, there was a guy named Doctor in Birmingham.
Yeah, Doctor.
Yeah, and he wasn't madly technical, but
he's not the same Doctor we know.
He was older.
You doing for real?
You
did it again.
This is a guy from back in the day.
What do you mean, Doctor?
Doctor in
Birmingham.
This is a guy named Doctor that a lot of my generation.
Yogi is Shade's cousin. I know Yogi.
Yeah.
Come on, of course I know Yogi.
Yeah.
But you know the one I was talking about from the UK. You know the one that passed He did a song called about Brixton.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah.
I've seen something about him online.
Yeah.
What was it saying?
Doctor.
Yeah, so there's a guy named Doctor, and I remember just watching him.
What was he rapping?
Perform.
Yogi was cold as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember the black guy with the dreads? He was a channel.
He's got an album called Jamaica Child. That's his first album. Yeah.
Jeez, you lots of despot.
I'm on there. It's a classic.
Information. I'm just gonna have to watch the show.
Yogi from Derby.
I'll watch it. And then
but he's another Golden Era Foundation.
Yeah. To find it.
So Baby J, who produced a lot of the Skinny Man, Council of State of Mind album. He produced Silent Screens. He produced a lot of different tracks from people around the country.
Okay, Baby J,
yeah, Baby J from Derby. Yeah.
We need to find you, fam. We put a clip out and just let it hit the internet, Instagram, and we'll find you, fam.
So he's still doing his thing. He's got Baby People, his company he's running in Derby. So
Luke Biggins as well, rest in peace, obviously. But I remember he did a lot of your videos and that as well, innit? It did a few of them and that as well, innit? I remember seeing it because I went to his channel one time to find
he done the rain
footage
video
from Instagram, and I just remember seeing you looks on it.
Yeah, Ty, rest in peace, Ty.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to get nothing in cookies. Yeah. But what about Rodney P and what's the guy's name?
Rodney P is actually the first. So let me just finish this Doctor. I saw this guy named Doctor. He's like a garage type MC, but he was mad relatable. And then for me, it was that I need to be as relatable as relatable as my man, and but still keep I still want that lyrical dexterity of the Nazis and the.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? But I still. So that's when my style kind of come into play. When garage MCs were starting up, and me just seeing the landscape, seeing where I fit, and kind of merging those two. You know what I mean?
Two mucking fucks.
That's the reason I was mentioning Rodney P. I was about to go into like the
lyrical, get me.
In the early days.
I remember watching Rodney P.
The Rhythm Killer.
I remember
watching Rhythm Killer.
Oh, so a lot of the UK stuff I never really heard until later on. Yeah. But I remember a group called the Demon Boys when I was a kid. There's a group called the Demon Boys.
Demon Boys.
Yeah, they was fast like.
What was they rapping about?
Like Das Effects type, but they didn't. They were doing their own style like patter. Those kind of yard hip hop type of style, yeah. And then I watched Yom TV Raps one time, and Fab Five Freddy was in London. Yeah. This must be somewhere. Fab Five Freddy was in London doing Yom TV Raps, and Rodney P. And there's Rodney P. and but what's the other guy's name again? The goatee. I can't remember his name. Yeah, but there was London Posse. No, it's not Scheme, but there was them two.
Scheme.
And they
I don't remember when it comes to London Posse. I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, but he stopped rapping. But anyway, they were there. There was a bomb scare and everything like that while they was doing and then they played their song "How's Life in London," and that's the first time I seen like a UK. There was a guy named Silver Bullet I seen a video for before that. Yeah. That's the only UK rap video I seen. And then there was London Posse. And I'm all a kid, but I just remember, I just got a good memory for all the music I heard and all the videos I saw.
Definitely. Because I just feel like, again, for someone
that was man's fun times, isn't it?
Early pioneer. Because, you know, like, we're quick to give maybe a Skigs or Skinny Man, or, you know, like, those people get the props for.
Kalashnikov always has to get mentioned.
Kalashnikov gets it as well, but Rodney P, in terms of like representing the UK.
Yeah, he was the first man I've seen out there like that. Yeah. Like he was the first British rapper I've seen like on TV talking, and then his video plays.
Yeah, literally.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's like.
I don't even got a personal relationship with him. I just like to keep it 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Not even 100.
Though I wasn't listening to it, I do remember seeing it. Like
like, so for me, I wasn't, but I just knew that. I just remember it's just stored in my memory banks of that's UK rap, that's here,
that's UK, you know what
and
you
know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
And it's not just
orientated
some random video.
at that time.
Fab Five Freddy came, And here's the thing: years after, people were still spitting American.
Yeah.
Years after that. So
what? The sound from early, innit?
Yeah. After giving that.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid. I'm a child.
These men are spitting in because they did the
English accent.
They did, what's the song they did? The Cockney. They did what's it called? They broke it down on a UK level.
There was old school ones that we probably didn't remember because man was a baby.
No, they did a song that was like designated to speak in English.
Nah. You're thinking of Smiley Culture, Cockney.
Edit.
Yeah. No, but still, that has to be mentioned in it because that's a.
Jay, don't laugh at me,
that's
bro.
another part of the lineage.
I just know these man.
See them yard man. See them man. They were the first mans to grab mic behind turntables. For me in Birmingham, I said bass man first, but I will put people like Tipper Irie and those man, Smiley Culture, as our as original forefathers.
Because them days, them man will represent everyone, you know. Like, you see, these days we're all broken down into little sections and that. Them days, them man is representing everyone.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, yeah.
When there's not even as much as us here them times.
Yeah, they're the real first generation of
No, but even with Rodney P, his group's called London Posse.
Yeah.
So that alone, do you understand what I'm saying? Is trying to identify us now.
100%. And no one else had
so you can't be called London Posse, bro, and be rapping American. You can't be called London Posse and be rapping in any American accent. Do you understand? It's not gonna make no sense. So I didn't listen, but I remember hearing them at the time, like, and they did.
I never heard their albums until later on when I went back.
Still never heard their albums, but I remember
they would have had.
But I just remember that video and the impact of just that. Yeah,
that's it. I don't even.
But that was enough.
That was enough. And we know
Rodney P was like
anyway,
he had more. Rodney P had the yard kind of influence as well.
Yeah.
So you get British.
So the same way people saw one of my videos, Silent Screams or Art of Survival, and wanted to be a MC or got inspiration through that, is the same way.
Yeah.
That's right.
What's it called? So you know what? Yeah, you know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hit you with about 3 questions and let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, what's your biggest collaboration?
My biggest collaboration is with Mark Ronson and Amy Winehouse and Preacher and Rockers. The Baby J remix of Valerie. We toured. We went all around the country. Yeah,
real time kind of remix.
That came out. The remix came out. It's on the actual CD single that was in HMV. The remix is on it. We toured. We done Wireless that year, and basically we toured with Mark Ronson's band. Wiley had Rolex out at the time, so he was on the tour with us on certain date. Wale, you know what I mean, Maybach Music Wale, before he was signed to Ross, he was signed to Mark Ronson. He's on the tour every night with us. And so that was probably my biggest collaboration, because we done I went Scotland everywhere on that, all arenas, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the biggest.
That's crazy, fam.
My favourite is probably
Winehouse, like.
My favourite is but I'm Ready's my tune. It has to be somebody else's tune that I'm on, or just a tune.
However you see it, your tune.
I would say that I'm Ready with me, K. Coke and Marks. That's still one of my favourites.
It's like a mad challenge.
Yeah, no, just the energy and.
I like the other one you and K. Coke did though as well.
Yeah.
The Streets and the singer on it, and Word on the Road.
Yeah. No, but I get why you're saying the other one though, because it's like a challenge, isn't it? And that tune for me, see, there's some tunes that I like them because he's sick, you're sick, and this person's sick, but you don't know each other, and you've just collaborated today on the. See, man will do a collaboration. Like you're a sick rapper and you're a sick rapper, and you do a collaboration and the tune's shit because you did it on the wrong beat, or you get what I'm saying, innit? Like, but see this tune.
Yeah, the timing.
I rated all 3 of you as artists, and it's on the correct beat.
And sometimes different people with certain skills go together, and it doesn't, like there'll be 5 and 5, and it don't add up to 6.
Yeah, definitely.
Where our numbers.
But that's your tune as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that our numbers added up on that tune. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I actually.
Banger as well.
Yeah.
It's a proper banger.
I'm more of a slow jam man anyway. You know?
Another one of my
you like the
favourites.
other tunes.
I like soul.
I don't know. There's a remix with the jungle tune with Jungle, Professor Green and Maverick Sabre.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a remix with me and Wretch 32.
Big.
And then that tune, innit?
Yeah,
And then
that was a good.
in the jungle. That tune, innit?
Yeah.
Levels. Yeah, he killed it. He just killed it with Diesel. He killed it.
Just quickly before we finish, what happened to Baby J? What's he doing?
Baby J is he was producing singing artist. He produced a hip hop album about, I think, came out last year. Nez from the Air Likes, American artist. Somebody I collabed with from a good from 20 years ago. I've known Nez when I first went to America in 1999. So he's somebody that we've collabed with, and he dropped an album with him. Last year. The System Don't Work. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, guys. Well, this is the last one. What's new? What's next?
What's next? We're working on a documentary. I can't say what it's going to be called, but it's going to be about UK culture and just fleshing out some things that we need to talk about and show and address. So it's going to be documentary work. I'm working on music, and I've got production out from different new artists. Shout out to Kingship Studios.
That's Logic, innit?
Yeah, Logic, big up Steady.
Yeah, Logic and Steady, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any artist that we should look out for from your that's coming from, like your lineage or things, you know them ones?
Any artists,
you know them ones? Give a little shout out to like one new person.
At the moment, I would say check out an artist called Article. Is a Birmingham artist. He rapper, does rapper / dancehall. Article, his whole crew. Mash on production. He's got a video called Badlands. It's like a short movie. He's got another artist called General Caution on there. So check out that project there. Big up Dubby and the rest of the crew. But they're doing big things. MBC in Birmingham.
You feel like that's funny that it's gone. You end up back in that building.
What's that?
You feel like it's funny that you end up back there.
That's it, man.
I know it's different people.
Yeah, it's a revolving door, man.
It's the same with me. Like, we're back again.
No, of course, we're always gonna be. Real people always link up back.
It comes back around.
No, but it's a building though. That's like, like when you end up back with the same people, it's different. But when you end up, he's not from London, so the fact that his virgin came and was working in there.
Okay,
A couple years later, like a whole next set of people.
Yeah.
For me,
a lot of that's in the documentary, the legacy documentary when you see it.
No, that's big. I used to go there for N-Dubs initially.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then I went there for A1, Then I've gone there for next.
So you keep ending up there.
Buildings that when man gets signed, they get a studio in there.
They send you there.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's got upstairs, down, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't, unless you know bare people in there, you wouldn't have even seen the whole.
Where is it again?
Next to mine, and then behind Market.
Oh, I went there. I've been there. It's like it's in a flat, or it's like you go into a building, you go upstairs.
But they're downstairs.
There's a couple of young artists that it slips my name, but like I said, I travel around, so I'm sure that we do a part 2. And
definitely, because you read my mind, fam. See this one, obviously, you know what I'm saying, innit? Like, it has that's how it's just gone, innit? So we've got to wrap it. But there's so many things that I know we haven't even touched on. We missed that one, and there might be people that when they see this, they're gonna say, "Cuz you didn't mention me." Like,
not even mention them, but mention the situation.
You missed this time, cuz. Like, but in my head, I've been kind of trying to keep a note of like, he touched on that, so we've gone to America, you know, them ones like we've done this, we spoke about MD7, like we've touched on base, but there's so many more things that we can bring you back for. It's too much, man.
Too much pieces to the puzzle, man.
It's your boy HUN Tizzy, and this is the Golden Era UK Rap Podcast with
Malik MD7.
Big up yourself. Till next time.
Peace.
Wait, some will rise, some will fall. Some will get the bag, some won't get none at all. Keep it flipping like a somersault. Cause this is real rap for the connoisseurs. Some will rise, some will fall. Some will get the bag, some won't get none at all. Keep it flipping like a somersault. Cause this is real rap for the connoisseurs. Yo, hold on a second and let me build a script. Let me get it together, come with some killer-ish. I was raised in the place where the villains live. Try to get the notes the same color as the villa kit. Wait, a hard graft for the dividends.